guys, this is Russ from Multiverse Nerds. I'm here with Michael Williams today from the Authors Fair. Michael, nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for joining us. So I know that you're well known for the Dragonlance series. So tell us a little bit about what you brought for us today.
Okay, these are the things I'm doing now. Dragonlance was back in the late 80s, early 90s. I brought two novels with me. Trajan's Arch, which was published in 2010, is a coming-of-age story with ghosts. Vine, which you're holding, is a Greek tragedy about a Greek tragedy performed in 21st century Midwestern city, in which the god Dionysus comes to call, and it ain't pretty.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to come to these.
Geez, I guess that I started in my middle teens as a writer by reading Lord of the Rings. It's where a lot of writers I know will have picked up the book and say, you know, this is the thing that started you off. This is the thing that inspired you. This is the thing that made you want to write. As for these particularly, I had, with Trajan's Arch, I had a series of short stories that needed a home. So what I did is I wrapped a novel around them. You'll find when you read this book that that the short stories of one of the characters keep appearing. The short stories comment upon the frame of the frame of the novel comment upon the short stories, and the worlds tend to blend kind of uncannily, I think, by the end of the book. Vine, I'd always been interested in Greek tragedy, and kept complaining that I didn't know classical Greek, that I was born too late, that it would have been my opportunity to do a Greek tragedy had I been back in 5th century BC Athens. And my wife finally said to me, why don't you write a Greek tragedy of your own? So this is a 21st century version of the Euripides Bacchae, in addition to being a kind of bizarre slice of life from the inner city in Louisville, Kentucky. The chorus leader, by the way, in this book is a homeless Elvis impersonator.
Nice.
So you can't beat that for a chorus leader.
Absolutely. So, okay, now you've been writing for a long time.
25 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's an amazing career for a lot of authors, definitely. So what kind of inspirational advice would you have for maybe some new aspiring authors or people who are wanting to get a book published or something like that?
First thing, most important thing, read. And you'd be surprised. I mean, that sounds like an obvious thing, but I'm meeting a lot of younger writers who read only their own work or consider themselves stretching when they only read in the genre in which they're writing. Fantasy writers only reading fantasy, science fiction writers only reading science fiction, mystery writers only reading mystery. The best thing you can do is to stretch yourself, is to look at other kinds of writing and to look at it for the kinds of things that a writer does. How he or she tells the story, how he or she puts together a sentence. Reading technically, as well as reading for something that you already expect that will fulfill your anticipation. That's the best way to get started, I think.
All right, well, Michael, I'm so glad you mentioned that. You brought up Tolkien, you brought up Lord of the Rings. So give us kind of a more of a spectrum of the things that inspired you, things outside of fantasy or something like that.
Okay, 19th century fiction.
Okay.
Great novels, things like Herman Melville, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, the people who have survived through generations on good storytelling, on magnificent characterization, on also embracing the real important issues of what it means to be a human being in their work. That's the kind of thing that that sets the bar very, very high. And though I don't think that I clear it, I think that the very fact of trying to jump to try to get over it is a good thing for any writer to do.
Absolutely. Well, you're definitely doing something right. So with Vine and then
Trajan's Arch.
With Trajan's Arch. Now tell us, are these part of a series or?
They're standalone books.
Okay.
I have done a number of series before, but at this stage in my career, I like to kind of have my say within the covers of one book, and then to go on to a completely new world, a completely new idea, a completely new concept. concept.
Excellent. All right, Michael, well, I really appreciate your time today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so
Nice
much.
to meet you and nice to do this.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.